Hey everybody, Roxabox90 here with day 7 of Tarkir spoilers. We got more great stuff to go over. I'm just loving this set. So Siege Rhino from yesterday, it's a big rhino. Really awesome. 4 for a 4/5 trample. That when it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 3 life and gains 3 life. Wow, so this card is definitely constructed playable, without a doubt. Top of a curve works really well, could be great for control, because it gives you some little life gain against aggressive decks and a killer against aggressive decks, and also for aggressive decks, top of the curve really strong. In Commander, this card is bonkers. You flicker it in and out of play. It hits every single opponent, and then you gain 3 life. So I don't think the 3 life you gain stacks, but each opponent losing 3 life is huge over and over and over again, which is the point in a flicker style build. I think that could be really strong, or a build that works with graveyard recursion, or sacking it and recurring it, that kind of thing. Very powerful, good stats, strong card. Jeskai Charm is kind of forced a little bit. I mean, the fire is coming up, but then the eye shape, how does that work from the whatever? It doesn't matter. It's 3 to choose 1. You get a creature on top of its owner's library, 4 damage to an opponent. Creature go to +1 and gain lifelink. So it boosts your army, finishes them, or puts a creature on top. It's kind of like Azorius Charm plus Boros Charm equals Jeskai Charm, which is pretty awesome actually. Very flexible. It feels a little bit just there because they're taking 2 previous charms and kind of mushing abilities together instead of doing something different. But, you know, it's still super powerful. Abzan Battle Priest, 4 for a 3/2, fine for limited. Each creature you control with 1/1 counter and has lifelink, so it works well with the rest of your Outlast team, and the Outlast cost is only 1 white. That's huge. This guy is great in limited, really, really strong. If Outlast ever becomes viable in a sort of F&M build, casual build, then this guy will be a powerhouse for that deck, I would think. Hooded Hydra, Mythic, 2 green and X for a 0/0, comes into play with X/1/1 counters. When it dies, you get that many 1/1 green snake creatures. Wow. And then with the morph 5, when you flip it up, it gets 5 1/1 counters. So in other words, you play it as a morph, and then the next turn or the turn after that, you unmorph it 5 for a 5/5, which in limited is totally fine, very strong. And of course, being able to scale up throughout the game and play it late game with a huge number of counters, it's going to be a huge beater, and then make your opponent freak out when it dies because you get a billion guys as well. Very, very strong limited card, and I'm sure it can be built around for casual F&M play. It might be possible and constructed, but I think with no other alternative abilities, it won't see a lot of play. I can't imagine it seeing a lot of play. But a very, very strong Hydra. Really creepy, amazing art. Then we have the 5 banners. Yes, each clan gets an upgraded. For those who remember from Shards, we had the Obelisks, and this is literally the Obelisks, but better, because it gives you tap for the colors, and then tap 3, tap sacrifice to draw a card. So they're kind of doing what they did for Dragon's Maze with the Clue Stones. They're doing it with the Obelisk. And I don't mind. I mean, the Obelisks were great fixers and very useful cards for Commander. Here you go, you get the rest of the colors with being able to draw a card if you really need to, which could potentially make or break a game. I like they just tack the ability on, otherwise it's the same thing. Very strong card, great for fixing, and I don't know if it's going to be seeing constructed play so much because of the cost of the artifact, but I do expect to see this in Commander for sure. Kiru Lich Lord, 6 for a 4/4 with a lot of text, basically saying that for 3 mana you get, at the beginning of your turn, you get to take any creature at random from your graveyard. It's at random, so you don't control it. That creature gets flying, trample, haste, and then you exile it at the beginning of your next end step, and if you leave the battlefield, you exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Okay, in other words, you can't reuse it again from the graveyard. What I like about this guy is how powerful he is. What I don't like about this guy is how random he is. At the same, he's kind of a mix, which fits for his power level. In limited, this is huge because being able to every turn for 3 mana get something back from your graveyard, huge recursion over the course of the game, even if you can only do it once per creature, and it doesn't really matter the randomness. Now, I'm sure you can build decks where you control which cards are going to the graveyard when, which with him would be very, very powerful. And he's also a zombie wizard. Awesome. I do think he has a limited factor to him because of the fact it's so random. And I think if you're just dumping tons of creatures in your graveyard, it's going to be a bit annoying in that sense. But I'm sure in Commander there'll be a way to work out and abuse him. And in Limited, I think he's a powerhouse. Butcher of the Horde, 4 for a 5/4 flying, sack another creature against your choice of Vigilance, Lifelink, or Haste. That's a powerhouse limited card, no question. Very, very strong body. I don't think it's there for constructed, just because it's, even though its power level so high, it's 3-color intensive and there's just better stuff. So unlikely that it's going to see a lot of constructed play, but in limited it is a huge bomb, and I like that you can use it as a sack outlet to make it more powerful. I think that's great. I'm sure in Commander it'll find its place. Efreet Weapon Master. Actually, these 2 cards I believe were misspoiled. They were supposed to be spoiled later, but they're being spoiled now, which is nice for us. 6 for a 4/3 first strike. Efreet Monk. Awesome. I just love this set. Efreet Monk. When enters the battlefield or is turned face up, so another flicker card. Another creature gets 3/0 with a morph. Okay, so it's fine. It's a fine limited card. The 4/3 first strike for 6 is a bit intensive. For 5 is great. And I think it's not particularly special, but is a solid common for limited. Witness the Ages is boring and bland. It's 6 for a 4/4 with a morph of 5. It is an artifact, but still, it's just generic. And even flipping it over for 5, I don't think it's that great. So those are our spoilers for September 9th so far. If more stuff comes up at the end of the day, I'll let you guys know about it in the next spoiler video, probably tomorrow. Unless we get Tarak Dragonclaw, in which case I will have a freaky fit and make it an own special super video for him. But besides for that, let me know what you guys think about today's spoilers. Put that down below in the comment section of the video. And if you enjoyed the video, tap the like button. If you're new to the channel, check in and subscribe. As always, Rocks a Box of 90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.